Alright, welcome back. This will be the final video I am recording. I might upload these in order that the classes came out, but this will be basically the Hunter um, build, which, like the other ones, will be very similar to a Bowman build for maximizing damage, but unlike Bowman, the Hunter has a little bit more freedom in where it can put points. It doesn't need to also maximize speed at the same time, though you do want to push speed because it helps. Um, but the Hunter's damage primarily just comes from Looty, which is you just have on your account. So it's not, yeah, as long as you just put points into that, you're good. You don't need to like min max speed on the same at the same time. But the Hunter has lower damage potential than the Bowman. It doesn't really matter. Both of them are far and away stronger than the other classes, but that is a discussion for another day. Without further introduction, let's get into the build. Like always, maximize Gilded Sword, Sharpened Axe. Ooh, I really need to get a book for this. And Idle Shooting. Um, After that, in tab 1, you can and probably should maximize Featherweight as it slightly helps damage, but also it just lets you cap mobs pretty easily with very little investment otherwise. For Hunter, their vials gives levels in ICU, and that doesn't matter because for Death Note you don't really need crit chance. Unless you're struggling to cap the mobs, which you shouldn't be. So once again, it's basically what you got in tab 1 for now. We'll come back to it once we get Agi again. For tab 2, this is where a lot of the damage comes from. You're going to go High Polymer Limbs and Veins of the Infernal. Veins of the Infernal is a massive damage increaser. As is Polymer Limbs. From there, you're going to go ahead and max out Garb and then max out Sonic Speed. Garb should generally be better, but you can check by putting 1 or 2 points in and seeing how many agility points you're getting per talent point. So those three are going to be or those three, can't add. Four are going to be your main damage sources. Unlike a Bowman, like I said, you don't really need Strafe, but it is helpful because you can cap like rams or frogs easier. So I'm going to level it anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put max that out. And then from there, we can go straight into utility, even though, again, Strafe is technically utility. It adds some amount of damage from the alchemy bubble, but it's not a tremendous amount. So, tab 3, we got Looty McShooty. Really, just a lot of damage. You want it maxed. It's good stuff. Gonna go ahead and pump up Agi again. And then this is Speed, Anvil, and Bullseye. You want the speed is like a small amount of damage, and Anvil is like great utility, so we're gonna end up pumping that up. Nothing else in this tab is gonna give us much more damage anyway. You're also going to want Eagle Eye maxed on either one of your presets. I actually generally like putting it on my fighting tab, so I don't have to TP back all the time, but it's because I collect basically twice a day, which that would be double the amount of TPs required compared to like Printer Goes Burr, Siphon, the Assault Talent for Squires. So because those are once every either day, and for Siphon I think I siphon like every 3 days now. Um, I put those on separate presets, but for Eagle Eye, I just like the convenience of putting it on my main preset. So we'll go ahead and pump up straight shot statues. You'll see we'll go from 208 to like 220 or something, and you'll see the damage go up as well. 214, less than I thought. As always, the shoe full of obel kind of sucks. It's just not a great tab. I'm actually gonna go grab a book really quick because I want more talents for previous points. Oh god, I haven't gotten books out in a while. Whoops. Um, we will grab some of those after I'm done with this video. Oops. Wow, 159 first try. Okay then. So I actually like having more tab 2 for utility because tab 2 gives archers a lot of power in the form of robbing hood and smelting every day. Um, yeah, so as far as tab 3 goes, that's basically the essentials. At this point, you can go into Shoe Full of Obel, or the damage chance, but you do need to have at least some talent points to max out your K value. So, um, all of everything except Kung Fu Kick for Bowman will pump up their K value, which is basically how much AFK multiplier they get for kills. Um, so I like getting this to about 50. And then we'll just toss some points in each of those. Sure, we'll get rid of that. You don't need the invasive species, shroom bait, reflected eyesight. I always put those on my second tab. And visibility vessels, if I was pumping up in tab 1, I would have it on tab 2 as well. So after that, I mean, we can go ahead and pump up a couple extra agi from here. I need to grab some books for Shooty. Looty McShooty. Okay, so back to tab 2. I like maxing Robin Hood, always a good one. And then going to at least 120 and smelting every day. That is when you get an extra second, and it's a very powerful skill, especially if you're Death Note farming. For Acme Anvil, Godly Creation, again, relegate those to tab 2. Yeah, I already know, I've never found it worthwhile. And Focus Soul, if you're using Unending Energy, you can basically soft cap your XP. So, not really that necessary. Again, I'm going to just toss some points into here. To get the multiplier, and the rest I'll probably just dump into Piercing Arrow. Hema Overdrive does give you a small amount of damage gained. I've never really found it worthwhile because again, you do need some K value and some damage multiplier. Um, so yeah, it's just depending on what you need. If you have a credible excess of points, you can go ahead and level up Hema Overdrive. It's not like horrible to do. It lets you AFK without food easier as well. Yeah, so that's that. Now we go to tab 1. Go ahead and max out Quickness Boots. Alright, from there, gonna definitely want to max out Broken Time, some of the best utility you can get. Boom, bam. Um, you also want Book of Will of Wise, giving you brew speed, which in turn gives you more alchemy XP. Tiny bit, it helps. You want drop rate off of luck, couple extra drop rate there. So after that, you can go into probably just HP. It depends. If you need more star talent points, you can put them there. Defense, what have you. I personally prefer HP. So we'll dump them into HP. Basically, there at the end with the HP, it's like called like a stat dump. Basically, you could put an ICU if you need help AFK capping. Just depends. So yeah, that would be basically the first 3 tabs on how to maximize damage. And then, as always, we'll go ahead and level these to what we need. Max out TikTok. 25 here, 50 here. Toss points into here until it stops giving. 38. And then we'll go to 40, just in case I decide to do more quests on this guy. Get your extra weapon power here. Max out TikTok. Because I'm not activating on this character, I'm not using crystals for days. I active on my Maestro. If you are active on Hunter, definitely maximize this. Just depends on your playstyle. From there, maximize Dungeonic damage, Frothy Mulk. definitely helps. Class XP, because why not? Definitely some carry cap. I like crit chance, because it's cool. Who doesn't like critting? And last but not least, into Milky Way candies, because I don't know when I would AFK for over 30 hours, but I have taken unending energy off my characters since I'm going to farm death notes, so I would rather just not lose out on kills because I can't get on it exactly at 10 hours. Just preference. Milky Way candies is basically free if you got the talent points to put into it, so might as well. And yeah, that's about it. So as you can see, it's not quite as high as the Bowman, but Archer definitely blows all the other classes' damage out of the water. And yes, granted, this Archer or this Hunter has a little bit more love put into it than like my Squire, for instance. You can just see the massive difference. I mean, the Squire was struggling at about 2.5 mil, whereas this one is 8.5 easy. So, um, but yeah, that's how archers are. And don't forget to equip your skills. And yeah, that is basically all I've got really to say about the hunter. So hopefully this series of videos helped. I don't know what order I'm uploading these in. Probably this one last. So yeah, thanks all for watching. Have a good one.